Hello everybody and welcome once again to Two Guys Philosophize with Sean Blake and Peter Wise. This episode is called Meditation. Transcend what? Just a little chat about the phenomenon of meditation, what it actually is and what it actually does. Do enjoy and please subscribe.
Okay, hello everybody.
Hi everyone, welcome to Two Guys Philosophize.
This is actually the fifth time we've tried to start by saying hello. That's the kind of frame of mind we're in today.
Yeah. And we're losing light, so this one better work.
Christ. Doing podcasts is not as easy as you'd like to think.
Not at all.
Bearing in mind the fact that we know nothing about nothing makes it more difficult.
As a consumer, you just watch the video, you think somebody's just kind of got in front of a camera and they've just stuck it up onto YouTube, and it's like hours of editing and fixing.
Anyway,
nobody wants to hear about that. Yeah.
What we did want to talk today about was meditation. Now, meditation's been around for a long time, and I for one am sick and tired of the millions of videos on YouTube about meditation, so we're probably going to sidetrack quite a bit. The word meditation comes from meditat, which actually means to contemplate, which is something different. Meditation was around long before the Buddha, and the Buddha lived 600 years BCE. So what actually is it? Where did it come from? What first man sat down and said, I'm just going to try and go inwards or try and connect with other realms? Or how?
First of all, I think we need to define what meditation is actually.
Yes.
Now, meditation has been slightly bastardized by Western society because of the Beatles, etc. So we have this idea from all these gurus who write books to sound impressive that meditation is a hard thing to do. And the kinds of meditations that they do teach you are legitimately hard. So a lot of people drop out of meditation after the second go.
Like I've done on 100 occasions.
Yeah, but you probably went through the cycle of meditation, which is basically you start off with being a little bit irritated and then you start feeling the aches and the pains, and then you just get to a point where you're just feeling so frustrated, and then you just, what am I doing here? Now that's when most people give up. The second batch that give up are the people that get past that, which is not hard to do, but get past that, get into a state where the crazy monkey in their mind has calmed down, and then they get to realize certain things about their lives and maybe relive certain aspects.
The what monkey?
The mad monkey in your mind.
Okay.
You know,
the thoughts that never
chatter,
stop. The chatter
that never stops. And then they find it, because their mind is so quietened, they have to actually deal with issues that they would normally ignore.
What is the mind?
Well, that is like a really... We've been trying to figure that out for the last 8 podcasts.
Yeah.
At some stage, we just have to...
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there. But there is a correlation between the mind and the brain, obviously. And it's probably thoughts that come into your mind from out there, from the great, eternal, everlasting everness, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts that come into your mind, which are then translated, as it were, or interpreted by your brain to have some sort of meaning that you understand in some sort of rational way or irrational way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that the mind or thoughts produce energy. Okay,
yes.
That's one thing is clear, and it's been shown that people in states of high meditation, or deep meditation, actually produce more alpha brainwaves, which are the good calming brainwaves, and they produce them, which means they put them out there into the world
for an extended period of time as well.
The beta waves. The beta waves are the more sort of anxiety related, anxiety based. But I mean,
at this point, I mean, also you need to realize that there are more than one type of meditation. The meditation that's been made popular by the Beatles and all the Indian gurus that came down to teach is not actually meditation in its true form. The term meditation is being kind of twisted, and people in the West tend to think meditation is blanking out your mind, thinking about nothing, going into a state of nirvana, going into a state of beingness and oneness, and we're going to do it for half an hour, and then they're going to come out of it and they're going to feel wonderful Buddha, they're going to be levitating everywhere. and it doesn't work like that at all. Meditation's not meant to do that. So it's contemplative, it's contemplating issues, and what it is focusing on one thing as opposed to all the other things around you, and bringing your mind or your energy, your spirit back to the one thing. So every time it wanders, you bring it back. Every time it wanders, you bring it back. So that's the main aim of meditation. Lots of ways to get there. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I think overall it's kind of become known as a way of calming yourself down. I've pulled up a list by some health organisation of how meditation can help. It can reduce stress, it controls anxiety, promotes emotional health. That's another subject in itself. Enhances self-awareness. I'm going to come back to that. Lengthens attention span, may reduce age-related memory loss, can generate kindness.
And has it got the extends telomeres as well?
No.
And it extends telomeres.
Oh, telomeres. Yeah. Well, the telomeres are the bits at the end of each chromosome in your body, which basically are of a certain length, and as you get closer to dying, your telomeres shorten, something like that. So that's the older you get, the shorter your telomeres become, until eventually
your body breaks down.
Die.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. This enhances self-awareness. What does that mean? Self-awareness. I'm aware. I'm Peter. But myself is not, the I that lies behind my name, which is Peter, my abilities, which is musical or whatever. So what does it actually mean when you say you're having a look at yourself, or you're going inwards to discover yourself? Because yourself is just a load of stories that you've picked up through your life. That's all ego. The self is ego-based.
The whole point of meditation is to let the ego drop, is to actually take away those layers of humanity, so that we just get to a state of being, which is a state of oneness, which is that state of bliss that everyone wants to get to, that nirvana that everyone wants to get to in the Western world when they think of meditation.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going to happen initially when you start meditating.
Again, it's one of these things that can definitely be of benefit to both mind and body. There are stories of the sadhus and the brahmins of ancient days and of today, who through being able to control their minds are able to control their bodies, and they live, some of them, without food for weeks at a time, holding very strange bodily postures, with keep your arm up for 11 years on the trot, or stand in one place. So these people clearly have control over their mind. I mean, we in the Western world, I don't know, we generally seem to be an unhappy lot, where you find kids in India, for example, running around the rubbish tips trying to find a scrap of food for their family for the day, and they're happy and they're running, and there's this girl standing in the rain, pouring rain, selling flowers as the cars rush by her, and she's smiling and happy and dancing along, and these people have got nothing, and I don't know whether or not they meditate.
But are they not in a state of meditation anyway? Why are they that happy? Because they don't have the stresses and the things that occupy our minds, like our job, how much we're going to earn, did we service that client right? That are all those tensions are going on. They've just got a life of survival.
Right.
And you're happy when good things happen, and you're sad when bad things happen.
So look, would you say meditation is a way of learning to detach from worldly things? and by doing so...
Carry on, sorry.
Well, you said no already.
Yeah, no, I know, but I shouldn't have, so yeah.
Well, no, just to detach from worldly possessions, to come to a place where you realise that all the lovely furniture in your house isn't really worth fuck all, to be honest, you know, when your life's in danger. I had a fire a couple of years ago. It took out everything that was stored in my garage, all my old memories and my old CDs and my old school books and everything like that, and I thought these were things that I would never ever want to pass on to my children, blah blah blah. They all got burnt to a crisp, but nobody got hurt in the fire, and I couldn't give a damn about anything at all that I lost. Alright, so what's this all got to do with meditation? Well, meditation for me is about quietening the mind. I fail on many occasions. And you basically kind of say to me, well, there's different types of meditation.
Yeah.
I think people know about them, but do people really go for it?
They know about the meditations that are very difficult and intricate and whatever, because they have to, because they put in books, and authors have to make writing words. so they tend to make things that they've extrapolated from a very simple idea. All meditation is contemplation. All it is quietening your mind, focusing on one thing, so that those scattered thoughts, because if I had to ask you guys out there right now, where are you? Where are you right now? Like, are you here present watching this video? Or is there a portion of you thinking about picking up the kids, and another portion of you thinking about what happened yesterday at the grocery store and whatever? So we're never really appreciating the things that are happening now. So meditation will make you happier in terms of it helps you to realize that there is a now, and that the now is the only thing.
Right.
And if you're not aware of the now, you're not aware of your life. You are unaware. Okay, you're unawoke.
That's very deep.
You're asleep. Now, interesting thing is, a lot of people will meditate and they'll discover that they have been asleep. That, none of these things are important. They'll get to a point where they understand that they are one, that there is nothing wrong, that is everything. And when you reach that point, that can be really, really scary. Yeah.
Well, you say, most people are asleep. And I kind of understand what you say. Most people
are
kind
of you
automatons.
Of you. Yeah, I like automatons. Like, if I had to ask you, where are you right now? I know you here because we've been focusing on the conference, but if you were someone else, very little of you would actually be present in the moment, enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does meditation help a
bring
person
you to the moment?
Right.
So and okay. So what I want to do, just very, very quickly, because it's this easy, is just teach you a very, very easy way to start meditating, which is very pleasant, that you will find benefits from it immediately. I can guarantee you that much. It's not hard to get into, and you are not going to have to make it a whole gedoente, as we would say in Afrikaans, which means, what does gedoente mean in Afrikaans? A whole episode, like a whole drama, like a whole episode. Basically what you do is this. You imagine yourself in a room, doesn't matter what size it is, white walls, white floor, white ceiling, and you can make it as big as you want, as small as you want, but in that room, nothing that applies here applies there. So whatever you want to happen within that space, if you don't want there to be gravity, that's fine. If you want to walk on the ceiling, that's fine. You never discuss your private place with anyone. You never verbalize anything about your private place that you go to. That's very important, because essentially the room that you're creating is your personal space where you can just be alone and away from your thoughts. So in being in this room and then creating an environment in this room, so what you would do is you go out, you see something you like, take a quick mental picture of it and go, okay, where would they look nice in the room? You put it in the room. Every time you see something nice, and when you're bored, go into the room, go and rearrange the furniture, make it nice, and eventually you get to a point where you will have an ornament that in your last meditation you put over there, and when you go back, the ornament's still over there. It becomes that real of a place to go to.
Okay.
Now, once you've done that, you can expand. You can make the walls a different color. You can have a window, and that can give you a view, whatever view you want.
So you're creating like a different life when you're...
So you're creating an alternative place to be than the place that you're in. So if you are sensitive like I am to people and noise and light and stuff like that, I can be in a bus and get a panic attack really easily. To prevent that, I'll spend my journey in my room.
Okay.
I'll be, because I'm safe, no one's going to do anything to me. I can close my eyes and I can go to my room and I can like sit there and go, I don't like the colour of that wall, let me do that. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my mind away from all these peripheral things. I'm bringing it into myself and keeping it there. So it's a nice way of getting into meditation. You can do it anywhere. You can do it, especially when it's noisy. You can do it on long journeys. Eventually the place that you create becomes like a second home to you. Like I said, no laws of this world apply there, so you can do the most amazing things. You can have unicorns, water that flows upwards instead of downwards. I mean, you can make it really exciting for yourself.
Okay, look. My point, which annoys me, is this: we've evolved to such a stage in our history now where a lot of us feel we need something to escape our daily reality, which is often mundane on at the best of times and terrifying at the worst of times. So we've kind of evolved these massive societies now, and now we've decided that we want to escape from all of the things that we've got and all our possessions and all our troubles and all our thoughts. And what you described there, I mean, I do understand where you're going with it, but that's, to me, like if I was to try and do that, to try and go into a safe room or something like that, I'd just have the thoughts zipping in and out of my head and, finding something to worry about. So,
but you see, you wouldn't. Because you would be in that space so focused on rearranging what it's going to look like. Do you want the room to be oblong? Do you want the room to be small? Do you want it to be big? That focus and that intent...
That takes practice.
Okay. Takes your mind off of everything else. Like, yes, it's a muscle. You have to... But this is the easiest and most pleasant way of doing it. As opposed to crossing your legs, saying mantras, like doing mudras and... That scares people. There are easy ways of meditating.
I mean, I can't cross my legs. That's why I'm scared of meditating.
And a lot of people can't sit up and meditate either.
Look, I do use a couple of meditations regularly on a daily basis. The first one is what's called the 4-7-8 breath technique, and that was invented or discovered by Dr. Andrew Weil. Just look it up on the internet. 4-7-8.
Rediscovered, because it used to be called prana.
Oh, prana.
Prana
okay.
meditation.
Well, so now it's a breathing meditation. It takes you 2 minutes to do it. Look it up on the internet for 4-7-8 breathing technique.
Is that the one where you close one nose?
No.
Because there's
just breathe in for a count, hold it, and then breathe out for a count. Now, unbelievably, just a couple of minutes of that has a definite effect on me. The other one I use is counting backwards from 300 to 0 and seeing if I can get back to 0 without the thoughts popping into my head. But look, essentially, meditation is about quietening our minds. So it's about controlling our minds.
Well, it gives you
our
mastery.
Emotions.
It gives you mastery over your mind. It gives you mastery over your emotions.
What do you mean by that? I don't.
Well, because
understand.
when people who have not meditated or who have not had the meditative experience haven't had the tools to be able to distance themselves from the world. So when you start meditating, you learn to become an observer. So you're not as reactional, and it's probably because you're of the alpha and theta brainwave activity. But sorry, where was I going? Control.
I've got no idea. Here we go again.
Here we go.
Forgetting what we're talking about. So
it's not about. Sorry, carry on.
No. I mean, whatever you were talking about, it had something to do with meditation.
I need to meditate.
I was going on about the the breathing technique that I did.
Oh, yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Have you remembered now?
Yeah, we were talking about mastery over mind and stuff like that, and why. And yes, I got it. I got it. In practicing, trying to keep your mind quiet, which is one way of meditating. In practicing to be mindful the whole time, which is another kind of meditation. What you're doing is you're making yourself aware of yourself. You're not just generically getting shoved out into the world and acting as a robot. You're actually aware. And like awareness meditation is nothing but like when they say Buddhists meditate for 24 hours a day, they do, but they don't. What they call meditation is, I have something in my hand that I'm doing, I must feel it, I must enjoy it, it's nice, it's heavy, live every experience, be conscious of every moment. The pen, how amazing is it that I can write,
taste food in your mouth,
actually taste the food in your mouth. So that's mindfulness meditation, and you can do that all day long.
It is fascinating because meditation can actually alter your genes, your genetic structure, in the sense that it has been known to help with not only personality disorders and mental illnesses. I'm actually thinking of a really weird question at the moment. I wonder if somebody with schizophrenia could meditate. Anybody out there?
When I started meditating, the screaming monkey in my head was incredibly hard. I mean, I just didn't meditate one day and naturally become this meditator. It took a long time to get to the place where I'm at. But that screaming monkey in my head, and I consider myself relatively sane in terms of schizophrenia. As a normal person, if it's hard to quieten that, for a schizophrenic person, how much harder would that be?
Very much harder.
And also their voices are external, so they're not internal voices. So I don't know so much about quietening those voices. I only have experience in quietening the inner voice.
Well, look, I don't know if that question can be answered, but I'd love to hear from somebody who suffers from schizophrenia, who meditates, and if it helps, or why you actually do meditate.
I do know that there are a few things that they recommend you don't meditate for, and those are things like dissociative identity disorder, PTSD, CPTSD. Now, when we're talking about PTSD and CPTSD, some people will
post-traumatic stress
disorder. Some people will know that, other people won't. But people can get triggered in a lot of ways. And if you practice a certain type of meditation, which is what I call the inward meditations, where you blank your mind out, you're thinking about nothing or whatever, that can sometimes bring things to the surface, cause a panic attack or a flashback or something to that extent. Okay. So, but there are other meditations that you can do that are just as good. There's visualization that you can do. There's wakeful meditations that you can do. Take a walk for 20 minutes.
I mean, I'm kind of beginning to see meditation as a medicine.
It is, and it should be prescribed for different things.
The thing is, okay, let's say you're suffering from whatever, you've got hyperanxiety or worry in your life, and you want to learn to meditate to quieten your mind and to go inwards and change your genes in your life circumstances. I've forgotten my thread there.
Your life circumstances.
I know what I was going to say. This generation of millennials, who for them is...
We all love to hate.
Yeah. I mean, everything's instant gratification. Everything at the touch of a button. If you can take a pill, you'll take a pill because it takes you 2 seconds. But to meditate takes a bit longer to learn, and to meditate deeply takes longer. And it's something that you have to devote yourself to, or stop telling everybody how much you meditate all the time and what a wonderful person you are. Because you might have tried to meditate and been unsuccessful at it, like I have. I'm only, I can only say for myself that's these 2 tiny little meditations that I do, and positive affirmations that I give myself every day,
morning,
which help me keep calm. But nevertheless, meditation still fascinates me. I've always said it's all right to do nothing, and I've always had a problem with that, with doing nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But when you're meditating,
You're not doing
the
nothing.
goal is to be nothing, do nothing, see nothing, but you're not actually doing nothing when you're meditating.
No, you're not.
You're
Like, for instance,
you're
when
meditating.
you're doing transcendental meditation, you are doing something. I'm just using that as an example on many levels. Number one, you're doing something to occupy your time. Number two, you're doing something that's going to make you feel better and makes you feel good while you're doing it. There are just so many benefits to.
Look, I think most people out there understand that this reality that we perceive, this physical reality, is not the only thing there is. That there are other realms or places of existence, that there are other energy forces or forms that we don't fully understand. And this transcendental meditation is all about sort of taking yourself out of yourself to understand what it's like to feel that you are actually at one with everything. I know it's such an old saying, you know, make me one with everything.
Maybe I should just break the rules and tell everyone in 5 minutes how transcendental meditation works quickly.
Please do.
Okay, so transcendental meditation was developed to quieten your mind. It was developed from an Eastern tradition and became a very popular thing back in the 70s and has continued since then. You've made a lot of money out of it, but essentially, save yourself a lot of money. Here's what you do. You need a mantra. A mantra is a sound. That sound you can make in your head. You never verbalize it. You never tell anyone what that sound is. You never try to use your mouth to. It's your personal sound. Now, that sound is called a mantra. And it can be na, di, da, do. It can be anything. But you ascribe certain attributes to that mantra. Calmness, peace, love, luck, empathy, etc. So that word, that vibration has an energy. Now, when you start, the aim of transcendental meditation is to transcend your different layers of ego until you just get to that which is just you, to be. Okay. So you'll start trying to think about nothing. And of course that's impossible, because if you're thinking about nothing, you're thinking. Yeah. And then you start thinking about nothing, and eventually exactly. Well, this is how many times it happens until eventually you become aware of like a louder noise above the other noises in your head, and that will be like the top layer, and generally that's like I call it the irritable layer. It's like the first layer you have to get to, and that's like, I'm uncomfortable, I have to sit like this all the time. In 50 minutes I've got to pick up the kids from school, can I do this now, I don't need to do it. And that's really your mind going like, hang on, I need to be like, freaking freaked out about everything. I need to like, So it's your mind actually fighting you. So the first step in conquering your mind is in telling it, hey, wait, okay, shut the F up, screaming monkey, all right? And I do have 30 minutes to meditate. It's my privilege, I'm going to do it. People don't meditate because they feel they don't have time. They feel it's too much of an effort. The meditation I explained to you can do on a bus, you can do a queue, you can do anywhere.
It's actually, I was just thinking, a church or a house of worship is a place for meditation.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be a place for meditation.
Let's use contemplation in that sense, because that's old. That's religion used meditation in a different way.
I mean, I don't know. There are specific meditations in the ancient literature to do for whatever reasons. And
the Carmelite meditation.
But I think, if you go to a church and you're looking to make a silent, nice, peaceful spiritual connection, you're still going to have. You can't just go to a church and it's all going to happen, or a mosque or a synagogue or whatever.
No.
You still have to then meditate in that place. How can you meditate when you're constantly reading words in languages that you don't understand, and singing songs and raising your arms up and performing ritual actions? That's not quietening your mind. You know, that's the opposite. What's the opposite of quietening? Loudening. That's
loudening
your mind.
Loudening your mind.
So, you know...
Well, look, it's a different kind of meditation because you're supposed to meditate on God. Okay, so, or contemplate God in a church. So
right.
it's a kind of meditation, but it's not really a meditation.
Right.
It's you contemplating information. You're contemplating. So you're not contemplating yourself.
Yeah.
You're not contemplating your being. The aim of being in church and being in the presence of that energy is to become one with the Holy Spirit, which in my mind is that state of meditation where you are just being. You know, you're just being.
I'll tell you, the transcendental aspect still fascinates me the most because...
sorry, we're going through the layers. I didn't finish the layers.
Oh, yeah, carry on.
So that layer will eventually, if you sit with that layer of chatter going on, you'll hear a voice that is louder than the rest. Now, this voice is not somebody else's voice. It's not multiple personalities. It's nothing to worry about. It's just you have basically isolated one thought that is running through your head because you have 50, 60, 70 thoughts at any one time running through your head. You're just aware of like one of them that you focus on. So you've got this one thought, brain fog again. This one thought going through your head and it disappears. Done.
I don't know. Maybe we both need to meditate.
Maybe we both need to meditate.
But you know what? When we do these podcasts, we're trying to pass on our thoughts and our opinions. We're just trying to chat, really. But I don't know. For me, at the back of my mind is I want to come up with things that are interesting, the things that people might say. You know, I never knew about that, or let me think about it. Let me research that a bit more. You know.
Well, I think but I'd also like to be able to offer some service to people and give them the benefit of my experience.
Because what's definitely becoming clear to me now as we do this, and I did not know this, there are quite a lot of different types of meditation.
Oh, yes.
Some are good for some, and some are good for others. But going back to the transcendental form of moving, taking yourself
I swear some
out of
Swami
yourself.
is putting a jinx on me so that I can't talk about transcendental meditation. Is a curse. They put a curse on me since the last time because they make a fortune out of this stuff.
Who does?
Yeah,
What?
the Swamis, you know,
Well, I don't know.
Back to transcendental. So you'll get that voice, right? So you take your mantra, which is the word that you've made up and imbued with a certain quality.
Yeah.
You replace that voice with your mantra. So if that voice is going, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? You make that voice say your mantra, la 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 la. Okay, la 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 la. So instead of that voice going, eventually that voice disappears and another voice will appear. And it will be your voice, but it might be a different cadence. It might be more angry, it might be more depressed, it might be more sad, and it'll pop up. And when that pops up in that thought process, if you just get that voice to say your mantra as well, what will then happen is the first layer will pop back again because you're now focusing on the second layer. So you get them both to say the mantra.
Right.
Okay. And in doing that, you start going down the layers of your wakeful mind, of your monkey brain, of the areas of your brain that are
Right.
and you start going through it till eventually you get to a point where you are just in a place of being. You're in the now. You are in nirvana, what they would call nirvana. But as you're saying, it is a long process, and we can achieve the same experiences through taking certain substances. So
this is it. And I'm saying that the millennials of today would rather take a pill for a quick hit than have to learn how to meditate for a year.
Exactly. But a lot of these people aren't using these medicines for meditative purpose. They're using them for recreational.
Yeah,
purposes.
Meditate in order to get high.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
Yeah. Or take magic mushrooms and go up.
Well, meditation is a form of escape anyway. It's a form of escape from our daily physical reality.
From our daily physical reality, yes. But I think it's an anchor, though, in our reality. Meditation. It's definitely an anchor.
I think they should teach meditation in schools.
I believe they're doing so in some schools.
Are they really? Good for them.
I believe they
are.
It, yeah.
Well done. Yeah, I certainly think that something needs to change with the way that the world is carrying on at the moment, because everything seems to be so
reactional.
so reactions.
Well, that's the other thing
crazy.
That's the other thing about meditation is meditation will teach you naturally that you don't need to react immediately. It's just a natural realization that you have with all this monkey noise switched off. You don't have to react immediately. You can be an observer, and observe the situation, and then you can react appropriately to the situation. So you're no longer on autopilot, you are conscious.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, I think it is a medicine. It's just a question of how do we use it? What do we do? What is it a medicine for? I mean, I've listed off quite a few things that it can help with, such as stress and anxiety.
There are 1,000 things. There are 1,000 things they've proven it helps with. There's 1,000 things people anecdotally say that it's helped with, including curing cancer and strange diseases. I mean,
exactly.
there's a lot of stuff that's been attributed, but the main benefit for me personally is my day is better. I have a happier day. I have a calmer day. It takes longer for my monkey to start screaming. It'll only start screaming at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whereas like it
which
used
isn't
to be,
like now.
Which is like now. Yeah, well, I can't remember it. But it's been quiet, for the last couple of hours instead of. So it does have that benefit for me is worth more than anything else. It brings me peace.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. I mean, in any of its
forms.
But
you're not going to levitate everywhere,
No, I think people have got used to the idea that that it has its limitations. Although there have been some very interesting, unusual, and special stories about people who have levitated all the way to heaven on fiery chariots. God knows all of this stuff. But look, you and me, we've both been brought up in the Western culture, and meditation has kind of been something fascinating for me. It's like, if I really get into meditation, how will it change me as a person? Will it give me new wonderful abilities to remain calm in every situation? Will it, I don't see any downside effect to meditation. I don't see there's any bad effect.
There have been reports, and Joe Rogan, lovely podcast, go watch him. The unfortunate thing is he's made thousands of videos, so for me to really get the info that I needed on this, to be accurate on this, I just couldn't go through that many podcasts to get it. But on one of Joe Rogan, love you Joe Rogan, on one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, he had a guy in who was a Buddhist, had lived with the Tibetans, and he done like the whole Buddhist thing. And
Joe Rogan. I'm just fiddling with the microphone. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and this guy. Totally forgot where I was going with that now.
He got this one guy in this one Tibetan Buddhist thing. Look, one thing I'm sure about is we'd look a lot better and sound a lot wiser if we had long grey beards.
And I'm working on it.
Wore a turban or something like that.
We were talking about the bad side, the downside
of meditation.
Downside? Okay. Yeah, right.
Cool, we're back.
So we're back. Yeah, we're back. Hi everyone, I was away for a while. So, I was in my room.
Right, downside.
Yeah, I was outside. Now I've gone back into my room again because we've had a laugh at it.
Yeah.
No, look.
But isn't this exactly what happens? I mean, you could actually be on your own. This is the mad monkey going. So many things going on in your head.
Because you know what's happening in my head now is that we're running so late, on this podcast, that there's a monkey in my head going, okay, all the information you've got, condense it as quickly as you can so people get it. It's late, and in doing so, like I'm getting brain fog and I'm getting confused and whatever, and that's when a person should take the time out for like 10 minutes and go, okay, I'm now going to meditate. You see, it's exactly now that we should be taking 10 minutes off and going
so all you guys, you can pause the video at this point and do a little bit of meditation.
Do a bit of
okay.
With me, it's a kind of a case of
No, that doesn't sound like meditation to me.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Sean, it's the same with all the podcasts we do. We take a subject and, we don't talk about the latest lipstick that's out there for sale or so-and-so's new puppy dog that's been born and how cute it is. We talk about things which there's a lot to talk about,
and eventually we do get back to the point. Like we're talking about diseases and meditation, and I lost my track, and I've just got my track back again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you want to?
So I'm going to say it now. So shut up. So I don't. Lung disease. All right. Now on one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, he had this very clued up guy. And this guy was a meditator. He had brought a new type of meditation into America. And in the conversation that they were having, he was saying that sometimes meditation can be a really bad thing for some people, especially people who have had no spiritual experience or no spiritual anything happen to them. Because what happens is they may go into a meditative state, realize that everything around them just doesn't matter, that they essentially are one with God, and God is them and they are God, and everyone is joined and nothing means anything anyway, and what's it all, why? So they go and they hang themselves. Like reset.
There's no point.
Press the reset button. I know now the trick. I know the trick now. So that in that episode, the guy said it was called lung disease. And I remember that, but I have done some research on trying to find information on lung disease, and all I can find is the Buddhists saying that it's an energetic disease. A disease of the chi.
But we are energy bodies. I mean, our bodies are made of energy. Our bodies are made up of these tiny little conscious atoms, so there is energy. We produce our body energy the whole time. We produce our body energy. I can't get my sentences in the right. I can't get my words in the right order again. And that's the monkey in my head.
That's the monkey in the head.
That's trying to stop me saying what I want to say. And how many times has it happened to you guys when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're desperate to say something, and then you hold on for like 3 seconds and it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Just
so annoying. I think meditation can strengthen your mind. Mindfulness as well. Learning how to live in the now. It's a very nice saying, but again, it's something that you need to delve into a bit further. What does it mean, learning to live in the now? Because wouldn't that be mad if you'd have to focus on every single second that you were doing and
take in every single thing? Misused Buddhist philosophy, bastardized, westernized, live in the now.
How's that?
Live in the now just means be conscious. Just means be conscious of what you do. It means take note, be aware. Awareness, wake up. So wake up in the dream, because a lot of people go through life like it is a dream. They don't experience anything, they just do. So to be mindful all the time is to pick something up and feel the texture and be present in that moment. It feels so nice and cold now. And so mindfulness is to bring yourself back to the present when you feel that you're just too scattered everywhere else. You'll do a mindfulness kind of meditation, but everything's should be at the time, at that moment, appreciated for what it is. You don't just eat a meal as a Buddhist. You enjoy it, you eat it, you feel it, you taste it. You feel what it does to your body. You focus on the vitamins going into your body and how it's going to get distributed. It's everything is a mindful practice.
I still think we've evolved in the wrong direction, from a point of view of societal living. We shouldn't be, it shouldn't be all about wealth and power and glory and fame and fortune and all this stuff. It should be more about getting to know yourself, getting to know that part of yourself that is the I. It's not even yourself, it's getting to know what's behind yourself, what's behind your ego, understanding yourself, coming to realize how you're driven by ego-controlled decisions every minute of every day, and even if you meditate and it gives you the opportunity to realize actually, I'm this type of a person. I'm always thinking about so and so forth, or I'm always interested in online shopping, or I'm always interested in doing this. I'm really quite boring. I'm not as clever as I thought I was. I've learned that by doing these podcasts. I mean, there's some clever blokes out there that can make you see yourself as you really are, maybe. It can take you beyond the self, beyond the ego, and help you see your ego for what it is. A real monster, which rules your life.
Which rules your life. You said earlier, look, I truly believe that teaching meditation to children is a good thing in terms of getting them to control their mind. But I think life experience in meditation has got a lot to do with each other. For instance, I've spent most of my life doing what I think I wanted to do, and I think I did that only to find out that is not what I wanted. That is not who I am. That's not what I want to be. And I'm 52 now. So now I've switched over from finding out what it is that I'm not, and I'm focusing on what it is that I want to be at the age of 52. Now, I think that's the time to meditate. It's like kind of like your 30s, once you've had a little bit of kind of life experience, and then children meditating. I don't know how much. I think you need a bit of life experience.
Yeah,
to work with meditation properly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So at age 30, when you start getting those stressful jobs and stuff like that, as you get older. As you start, like now, it's so important for me with my meditations, because I'm now discovering I'm too old to worry about what people think of me. So now I'm just left with me, and like, who is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who project false pictures of themselves. There's these wonderful people who meditate the whole time and so spiritual, all this. But I think meditation in its many different forms, apart from the exception to the rule, which you explained before, has 99% is 99% beneficial to a person.
Yes, but you say exception to the rule. Those people I mentioned aren't exceptions to the rule, because they can meditate just different techniques.
Now you're scaring me. Now I'm just going to tell everybody, don't meditate because you might die.
No. Like,
that's what you just said.
No. So what I'm saying is, if meditation doesn't work for a person who has trauma, CPTSD, because you're blanking the mind and those memories are like coming forward, there are other ways to meditate where you don't do the inner meditation, you do the outer meditation, where it's focused on outer things.
Yeah.
So like your breath, visualization, or a walking meditation.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to blank your brain and get to your subconscious if you have those disorders, because that can sometimes cause chaos. Not all the time. A lot of people find benefit out of it, but it's one of those things that they kind of if it's going to work for you, it's going to work for you, but if it's not, it might not.
Look, I mean, all right, look, we're not really here to give advice as such on how to meditate. What I would say is meditation is definitely like a medicine, but on the other hand, it's not for everybody. It's not been for me. It's me trying to control the universe, trying to tell the universe what to do. I want to meditate, therefore you, universe, are going to comply.
No, the problem is you're
lazy. The problem is I'm lazy, he says.
No, the problem is you're lazy.
It could well be. How do I get out of that one then? How do I get out of that one? I'm just saying, what I was going to say was, since the universe is telling me, when I sit down and try to do deeper meditation, that it's not going to give it to me.
Yeah, well then don't do deeper meditation.
Well,
look into another meditation.
All right, look, I think we're going to finish up pretty soon. I mean, do we want to leave our lovely listeners and watchers with a message?
We do, but I want to leave you with a challenge for this week.
Oh God!
Okay. No, seriously. I mean, you can challenge me. I'll do it. But I know you a little bit more than most people do.
Right.
Okay. Not totally, but I suspect you're such an impatient person, and you want everything to be so right all the time that you get disappointed when you go into meditation and 3 minutes later you're not in heaven. It's like, okay.
But there must be other people out there.
Okay, yes, there are, and that's why I want them to listen to this too. Honestly, try the room meditation. You take a nap in the afternoon, just in your mind, go to a room, start decorating it. If you leave it within 5 minutes, fine, it's great. You can always go back to it. That's the beauty of it. You can always go back to it. You can come out, you can go back to it. You can come out, you can go back to it. And give it a week. Okay, do that 15 minutes of your hour nap that you take every afternoon.
Yeah.
All right, 15. Because, by the way, if you meditate for less than 15 minutes, the benefits aren't that fantastic. It needs to be a bit more above 15 minutes. And also, the goal of meditation is there is no goal. It's the practice of the meditation that causes the effects. So there's no end game. There's no nirvana or anything. So, but for a week, like just do that, and let's talk in a week and tell me how you feel, how that experience was for you.
Every day, once a day for a week.
Once a day for a week.
We've got our doggies here with us, as you can hear, I'm sure. But we're just about coming to the end. I mean, yeah, I think if, like I say, we're not authorities on the subject. I mean, Sean does actually, maybe can be called an authority. He does know a lot about meditation. But find the right one for you. If you want to meditate, ask yourself why. What are you running away from? Are you running away from something? I don't know. Figure yourself out. I wish I could figure myself out.
Well, the irony of that is if you meditate, you're going to find that out.
Okay.
So
start your journey, everybody. I have been given the challenge to start my journey. I'll start from tomorrow.
And if he's wearing white and feathers in his hair, levitating, we know it worked.
Next time you see me, I'll
instant grey beard,
a long white beard,
Gandalf jacket. Yeah.
Anyway, it's been lovely chatting.
Awesome.
All right,
awesome.
guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all the rest of that crap YouTube wants from us. Love you. Ciao, bye.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, and you all have a lovely day.